Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Disrupt Your Now with me, your host, Lisa Kipps-Brown, and one of my favorite people, Sherman Williams, so
Yeah.
I have been blessed to meet Sherman because of our NASCAR team and also because of stuff I do with veterans. And I guess we've known each other like maybe 2 years now, Sherman. I'm not
Mm,
sure, but
maybe a little
y'all,
longer.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Sherman is retired Army, right?
Yes.
Okay. Retired Army. And he is the founder of, well, he created Body Aqua, which is an amazing, amazing product. First functional beverage. But Sherman, I want you to introduce yourself, give some about your background, and then we'll get into what you're doing and everything.
Okay. Well, my name's Sherman Williams, of course, and I'm a wounded warrior. I'm a disabled veteran. I was in the military for almost 25 years. So, as a combat veteran, everything changes when you go to combat and overseas. So, your whole narrative on life itself, because you just
Hmm.
appreciate everything. So when I was deployed doing Operation Iraqi Freedom, I was there for about 15 months. And
Mm.
like anybody else, they didn't. It was almost like going back in time. We didn't have the nice toiletries and the food and even regular drinking water.
Yeah.
So actually, enduring that for approximately probably the first 2 to 3 months before a lot of the contractors came in. I mean, we had burn pits and all of these different things, and even the Scud missiles that was coming in. We didn't realize they had chemical agents and
Uh,
things in the air, so that was mixed with the dust and everything else. So after a while, everyone's skin was always irritated and having issues, and of course, it was extremely hot during the day and rigidly cold at
mhm.
night. So it was like massive changes in the weather, which actually draws and pulls your skin. And along with that, you just needed the right amount of energy because stay alert, stay alive.
Mhm.
That was our motto. But in order to be alert, you needed the right amount of foods that was rich in nutrients as well as the right water.
Yeah.
And these things I realized we didn't have, and it was very painful because when I was in a firefight, that's when you need extra energy. And my weapon jam, I swear I thought I would not even be here today. I thought my
Wow.
life was over. I mean, because being in a firefight, you need a weapon. And then when
Yeah.
your weapon malfunctions and you don't know what to do and you're not in a position to just go ahead and break it apart like you're trained to do and fix it and this and that because you have to have cover. So luckily, we was able to suppress the enemy down and they was able to retreat. And after that experience, it just changed everything. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, and out of that moment, I realized I was so tired. And from what was going on with me, I realized that we're not getting enough amount of nutrients. And,
Hmm.
and mind you, we was getting all of the electrolytes that people say you need because the MREs had at least 200 to 300 amount of sodium, which is
Sodium. Yeah.
electrolytes,
Uh-huh.
in there. So we had more than enough of that. And sodium doesn't give you energy. So people say, oh, I'm so active. Like, that's caffeine. But
Yeah.
even so much caffeine for those that drink coffee, you still was dehydrated because it was so hot during the day, you was constantly losing liquid.
Mhm.
So in that, and people know when you lose so much sodium in your body and you look at your clothes, they turn white. And you're like, what is that?
Wow.
That was actually salt. And mind you, not replacing it and not just the electrolytes, which you're supposed to get from our food, which was in MREs, we wasn't
Mhm.
getting those key minerals in our water
Yeah.
because we was filtering it ourselves and it was reverse osmosis and people have their take on the different amounts of water. But based off what I experienced, I researched nothing that we're really consuming today is made for the body because we're like the hybrid of every creature on the earth. So when we treat our bodies like the old Yugos, for people that don't know, like
I'm
old beat
old
up
enough to
cars, we're
old enough
treating
to remember them.
exactly. So,
Windshields fell
but
out. Driving down the road, the
yeah,
whole windshield just fell out.
so we treating our body like an old Yugo versus, I'll say, the Teslas of today.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to actually intake and test and take care of what we do to the one thing that's going to either dictate how rough our healthy lifestyle is going to be, because it can either be rough or it can be smooth, you know? So in that, what do your body need? Like people say functional drink, and I'll throw the ones that people know. That's the Gatorades, that's the Powerades, and the Body Armor. That's a functional drink, but what's the function? What's their function? You know, and then they say, oh, it hydrates me. That's water also. Well, I need electrolytes. Okay, you can also get that from the food. So what's his real function? And then they said, well, we need electrolytes. And I said, okay, answer this question. Before the first drink, which was Gatorade, what did we have for electrolytes? No one remembers.
Yeah. I guess it was just water. I don't know.
It was in the food. It's naturally in the food. Electrolytes is naturally in the food.
Okay.
So I tell people what the difference is with Body Aqua, realizing what the body needs, and it's a nutritional cocktail to help your skin and support your ability to have natural energy. So that's the function, natural energy without the bad stuff, while having excellent skin, because that's the largest organ, which actually are indicators of what's going on in your body. So when people get wrinkles, pimples, I don't know, all of these things that happen that pop out, it's like an indicating light that we ignore and cover up. It's just like your warning light comes on in your car and you put a piece of tape over it. That's what we do.
Yeah, so you can't see it. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what we do.
Point.
So, and that's what Body Aqua does. It realized you have an indicator light, and it's going to actually hydrate you to the point that it goes away, because everything starts from the inside out, especially with the skin. Everything for the skin is all external. And even with collagen, all the experts say, oh, you can't sell that, but they're selling it.
Yeah, and you're right. It's like you just put lotion on your skin, lotion up. Well, you know, it can only do so much. And it's funny, sad, whatever, a combination of both. I imagine the majority of people don't think of our skin as an organ. I didn't. I mean, I know that it is. Logically, I know it is, but I don't think about it that way.
Exactly.
We just complain about our skin. You
That's
know,
it.
the color or too dry or too whatever. Oh, it's getting wrinkly. It's getting crepey like those elephant leg things.
Exactly.
But we don't think about we don't think about it big picture like that. And when I first met you and you were telling me about Body Aqua, the skin support beverage, I was like, man, that's so cool, because you know, you're getting all those nutrients. I could not believe all the nutrients and vitamins that are in it. But I also want to say to people that are listening, I didn't think about, we think about water. We just think about water, just plain old water.
Yeah.
That we don't think about what's in it besides the water itself. And so it had never occurred to me. I mean, we think about, oh, it's filtering out the bad stuff. We don't think about, oh, it's filtering out good stuff too, and there's nothing to replace it. And that's what Body Aqua, your products, is for, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my product you can give to a newborn baby. All the other drinks, you wouldn't even think of doing that, because no colors, no caffeine, no sodium, no potassium, just vitamins and minerals.
No sugar.
We use natural sweeteners, so it's not a sugar. So stevia and agave. When people say, well, I'm not sure on things, and even this big push with no sugar is still sweet. So what's making it sweet? It's a chemical. Yes, it's no sugar, but it's a chemical replacing that sweetener, which actually feeds the bad stuff in your body.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why it's like, it's kind of unfortunate in how we are plagued to say, oh, I don't need any sugar. I need this, I need that. And these things are not really good for you.
Well, to me, it's fascinating. And I want to get into your journey, because it's been a long, hard road for you. But I think it's fascinating that you didn't have a background in food, in any kind of molecular whatever. And I just think it's so cool that you recognize your own personal need and went out and did all this research. But you went from that to being able to actually develop a product. How did you do that?
It wasn't easy. I mean, because for me, I really didn't get it in, for me. They said, okay, when you have a product, what is it solving? A lot of times, a lot of these products, aren't solving anything. It's actually harming you. It's not solving anything. So the issues and those that are around me, we was lacking key energy required to stay cognitive on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's in real life, like in driving, it's day to day.
Life
We
and
have
death.
our
Yeah.
we have our own different battles, but that, yes, it's an extreme, but almost everything's an extreme when you think, like, when we not focus on what's going on, your life could be gone just like that.
Yeah.
So in that, connecting to the skin, which is everything, because you see this. So these distractors, unfortunately, affect your psyche. So the way you think, how you operate, all starts about your health and what you put in your body. So after surviving that ordeal, I just did massive research, and thank the Lord for Google.
Yeah.
So just Google everything, and they had different things that the body need, like breaking down, like vitamins A, C, E, biotin, zinc, chromium, collagen. The list goes on of all of the key nutrients and the combinations of what the skin needs and what the body needs to be, I'll say, at a premium rate of effectiveness and efficiency. And that's what Body Aqua does. So when people look at all the other titles, the body is made of over 70% of water, which is needed to circulate the blood, because even the pH level matters. Your pH of blood is 8, and the pH of your water is supposed to be 7. Unfortunately, we think 9.5 is good.
See, I don't even think anything. I'm like, whoop.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but that's the alkaline levels. And mind you, that is too potent and it shocks the body. And actually, the acidic level in your stomach is so low, and you kind of neutralize that and disturb your digestive system. But that's another topic.
Well, Matt is on here. You know Matt Denny? Hey, Matt. Mohawk Matt. Hey, Sherman.
I know the picture. Hey, Matt.
So, Sherman, I want to talk about your journey, because you did all this research and you developed your product idea. But then you actually have to create a product, and then you have to have financing in place, funding in place, before you can really go market a product. Because if somebody buys it, how are you going to get it to market? Tell us about that.
Well, actually, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Okay.
I was just going for, I said, I got a product, I know it's going to work. And just not knowing what I know now, because a lot of people, if I went by the rules that people have in place today, I probably wouldn't have got past.
Yeah, that's a great point. That is a great point. Ignorance can be bliss. Ignorance can be deadly, but ignorance can be bliss as well.
Yeah, because it's your dream. You're not thinking about, the end results of, okay, I know where I want it to be, but right now I got a great product. I want to get it out there. How do I shop it? And then once I get people interested, I'll find a way to make it happen.
Okay, gotcha. So when did you start it, the company?
Oh man, in I believe by 2005.
Okay, so 16 years.
Yes.
You started, that's when you were developing the product, right?
Right.
So when did you actually get to the point that you were trying to market it to retailers? Or
about 3 years later, I had to figure out, I can't shop a product because they want to know what it tastes like. So I had to actually find a company to help put my idea together.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more expensive now. It like quadrupled what I used to pay when I paid back at that time. And mind you, when I was coming out with this, vitamin water wasn't out yet. It was not even out yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
trailblazer. But that's the thing. When you're ahead of your time, people don't get it. They don't understand it. And then the copycats come along and
exactly. And then people once, and that was the first vitamin water that came out, and everyone was crazed. And I'm like, that's my idea. And it's hard. It's hard because you have something, you don't have the funding, you serve your country, did all of these things, and then you have people that, oh, that's pretty cool. Put some vitamins in here and call it healthy. But it's more than that. So finding a company, and then that wasn't it, because unfortunately, a lot of people don't really want to help you find out what you need in these industry because it's
Yeah.
competitive. So they would piecemeal me. They say, "Oh, you need this," and
Yeah,
I would
they're
get
going to
that.
give you just enough information for you to work with them.
Yeah,
They're not going to volunteer anything else because then they might think you don't need them. Yeah, I see
yeah,
that all the time.
yeah. So I mean, and it's hardening. I mean, don't get me wrong. I appreciate and I know that consultants have their certain place,
Mhm.
but for me, I help those free of charge
Well,
because
and this is where I have a difference of opinion with a lot of people. I'm more along the lines with you. I lead with the give mentality. I'm
right,
like, I want, and I know people will go, well, that's why you don't have a lot of money. But I have my own personal values and
right,
everything, and I really want to be able to help people. And so I look at it as give more than people are expecting and more than they need, and then they will realize the value. Not everybody, because a lot of
right.
people are only looking out for themselves. But I think people that get too caught up in, oh, I'm not going to tell them this, not going to tell them that. I think that's being very short-sighted. You have to protect yourself, but I do think you also have to invest in relationships. And if some of those companies had given you a little bit more advice than they had that helped you become successful faster, they would have reaped the benefits from it.
Yeah, I agree, and I believe if you help someone, I believe in their heart, you know that they're going to help you out. They're going to
Mhm.
give to you.
Yeah.
So for me, why am I going to offer advice which they can find on their own? But my advice is not really going to make them successful because
Yeah.
it's all about the connection. So
Yeah.
if I don't really have a connection to help them get to that step, why am I charging them for something that is not really going to make a difference, and they know this? And
Yeah.
that's what hurts because yeah, you know all of these things, but implementing them and them being actually beneficial to the
Mhm.
point of making money, that's what it comes to. So everyone
Right.
want to take, but at the end of the day, what are you really giving for this person to be successful?
Yeah, that's a great point. They're sharing information, but it's not the kind of information that you can put into practice,
Right,
that you can actually apply, execute, act on. And so, heck, if you know what to Google, just go Google it, like you said. So, okay, so you went through all that process now, and then when you found yourself out starting to sell and starting to work with consultants or whoever to develop your products, then what was the very first place that you got into, the first retailer?
first retailer was Whole Foods.
And how did you get into them? That's amazing. Did you do it yourself? Did you have like a broker or what?
Oh, never had a broker. No broker to get in Whole Foods or Walmart. I mean, I
Wow.
had brokerage support for this When Dixie deal for 100
Okay.
stores that I'm about to get into, but this is, mind you, 12 years later.
Mhm.
So Whole Foods, we did it the old-fashioned way. We actually went to about 50 different Whole Foods stores, just driving, talking to the managers, and
Okay.
presenting our product to them because they review it every year, like almost every company, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is amazing, we love it." And we said, "Well, we need your support. Can you write the?" We found out it's the regional buyer. I believe it's changed now, but the buyer, unfortunately, one person to dictate whether they like it or not, and everyone's different. I believe it should be a team
Yeah.
because
But so
it's
in that case, you were going to the store managers and
yep,
you were basically pitching them, trying to get them on your team
yes,
so that then they would go to their whoever higher up and be like, we really want to. You were
yep.
working it from the inside instead of going straight to the buyer. You were working it from the inside and trying to build critical mass and support, right?
Right. Yeah, because we know it would be a timeline that we want to present this product to the time to buyer, but we want to get a feel from all of the people that actually worked in the store. And
Yeah,
they loved it. Yeah, and that really helped because
yeah.
we had enough people to email. And when it came time to get selected, and mind you, we submitted to 6 different regions, but the region that we pitched in is the one we got accepted. And I'm
Oh,
glad that was the case because A lot of people don't realize if you're not a national account, even though you get an account with Whole Foods, you still have to go back to every store to get them to order to bring
Oh,
your product
wow.
in. So even though getting in, I still wasn't in. And
Uh,
as it was
that
a
just
lot of
kind of
work.
gets you listed, I guess.
Yeah, got me
Good
listed. So
potential
now,
product.
yep. So I would be scanned and they say, "Oh, you're in the system." I said, "Yes, exactly. We're trying to see if you'll give us an opportunity to sell in
Okay.
your stores." And they said, "Okay, we need you to come in and do demos and stuff to
Okay.
present the product," which we love. But now they charge for demos now. Before it used to be free. And I'm like,
Yeah, they want to charge you like the floor space or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, but no, they utilize a third company to actually take the responsibility to charge you. And mind you, you can do it yourself. You still got to pay them $60 to go in
Yeah.
the store. And mind you, this is not even off the product. You're selling. I was selling my product to them like between like a dollar or so each, and they was reselling for $1.99.
Hmm.
But you do the math, it wasn't worth it because they never had 60 bottles for me to sell at
Yeah.
any of those stores.
Yeah. God, I didn't know that about the demos that you have to pay to go in and do it.
Well, that changed after Amazon acquired them. So a lot of
Okay.
things changed, and I'm like, oh man, this is just really making it hard.
Yeah. So how did you get in Walmart?
Oh, Walmart, it took a couple of tries. I actually got a
Just a
meeting.
couple.
I actually got a meeting with them a couple of years before I actually got in. And
Okay.
people say, "How did you do that?" We drove all the way to Arkansas, and
Oh
we
my
had
gosh.
drove all the way there for a a 30-minute meeting that they were late to.
So you set the meeting up ahead of time,
Yep,
and
to
then
go
you
there.
so I'm gonna back up. How did you get the meeting?
Just emailing them, going back and forth, talking to them, and letting them know how unique and great our product is, and trying to get an opportunity.
So
Um,
you found like the purchasing department. You found
I
somebody
found
and
someone, yes.
started emailing them. Now, did you
Hmm.
just email once and they answered? Or did you have to keep emailing for a while before they even answered?
Oh, I emailed them at least every day for 2 months straight,
Oh my
every day,
God. And then
including
they
the
were
weekend.
kind of like, oh, we just have to let this guy Sherman come and
Yep,
talk to us, so he's going to drive us crazy, right?
yep. So I think they did that to still let me down. Like, oh, we just got to talk to them anyway. So,
Yeah.
but
So
still,
you
I'm like,
drove out, you had a 30-minute meeting and they were late for it.
yep. And I'm like, oh, this wasn't good, you know. And we believe that we had a great product, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, everyone's taste bud is different,
Yeah.
you know. So I believe that when someone isn't used to something healthy, because kids love everything
Yeah.
except for like green stuff, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but when you get older, you get a taste for stuff. So if you like Diet Coke or
Yeah.
stuff with no sugar or these aspartame and the other artificial sweeteners, and you actually taste something that's supposed to be healthy for you, you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
And that was it. But he didn't like it, but his assistant liked it. But because he didn't like it, Trump be like, well, I don't feel it's a good fit. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I said, we can't even give it a try, to see how everyone else likes it.
Mhm.
No, no, we don't think. I'm like, and I felt so standoffish, and I'm like, okay. But my partner said if I got the opportunity again, that I would definitely get in. So the second time, which was fun,
So
I
your
go.
partner went out there with you?
Oh yeah, she actually drove me because I was dead tired. I actually was still in the military.
Oh, okay.
I just got off for duty, um, 24-hour duty, so I was like comatose. I couldn't even.
Wow.
I was out. So, and mind you, we had to be there by a certain time, so we drove overnight to be there just to drive back because
Yeah.
I still had to go back to work.
Now, were you living in Florida then?
No, I was actually stationed at Fort Gordon in Georgia
Oh,
at the
okay, so
time.
it wasn't quite as long a drive, but still long drive.
It was still pretty long.
Yeah.
It was pretty long. Um,
So she said if you get, I think you said if you
yeah,
got another chance that she thought y'all would get in, right?
yeah. She reminded me because I forgot. She said you said for yourself that if you get another chance, you're definitely gonna get in Walmart. And I did. I got another chance, and that was going to the Veteran Edge conference, what they have in Houston, Texas. through the EVV program, which is Syracuse University.
Yeah, I saw that. I read an article about you online through them.
Oh, thank you. So they are very supportive, and Walmart is one of their major um, sponsors, and they actually have people that represent them all the time. And they say
Okay.
they've been watching me for a while. And then finally, through them, they have selected people like, hey, you need to go ahead and submit. They're looking and having I guess a certain amount of companies that are United States based that they want to have at Walmart. And submitted and got everything, and even was selected to be in a contest. And mind you, this contest was everything. So they said, well, whoever wins this contest definitely going to be on the show. And I said, I'm going to win this contest. I'm going to win it. And I did. I did.
That's
So,
awesome. And then you got in the store because of that?
got in the store. That was part of it. Had a great pitch. And of course, the difference with my product is that I have the only cosmetic beverage, as you can see behind me, in the world, because they say, okay, why should we have your product on
Can
the
you
shelf?
hold that up, or is it?
Oh, no, it's right here.
Hold it up, because if people haven't seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's it right
I
here.
love that water, the skin support water. There's also the fitness support, and I like that too.
Yeah.
But
So
I love.
we'll get it right
Yeah.
here.
Y'all
So
need to go to drinkbodyaqua.com, and you can see all the nutrients that are in it. But it is really good. I love it. And my cousin in Des Moines orders it. She loves it too. So, and I'm not just saying that because you're my friend, Sherman. When we were at Fort Belvoir for the pop-up, I would have bought more than I did, but you were sold out. I could only get one case. So, okay,
I know. Everything I brought, I sold out. I think I had like 90 cases. That's all I could fit in my truck. And I was able to, I sold out very fast.
Yeah.
Very fast.
Okay, so you got in Walmart.
Right.
Was it like you got in a lot of stores, or how did that work?
Well, they started me off with 45 locations, which is great. And I'm glad it was that amount in Florida. The thing is, and you're such a big store, and then especially the timing, it was during the pandemic. It limited me to do a lot of things. It's still challenging, it's still a challenge. I'm still trying to build awareness and let them know how healthy the product is, because mind you, it's the only diabetic friendly, kosher friendly, vegan friendly product out there.
Friendly, yeah.
That is separate with no sodium. And a lot of people say, oh, no sodium. I wish I knew, because they said I can't have any sodium. That's the new thing now, because I think the FDA is putting a new mandate out that they have to have a lower sodium intake on a lot of beverages because it's too much in our system. And I always knew that was a problem.
So when you're saying that you're raising awareness, I know you're raising awareness with customers, the end customer like me, but are you also having to do that within Walmart itself, like with the buyers and the store managers and the buyers, to get them to understand the product so they can sell it more effectively?
Well, honestly, they really don't care. Honestly,
yeah, figured you.
They really don't.
In here.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think any manager knows every product in their store, because a lot of them I talk to, oh, I didn't even know this was in here.
Yeah.
So,
because it's just too many. And then you've got all the shelf space and where it is on the shelf, and you have the big companies that are paying to have all the primo locations.
Yep, and it's just been a time of just proper care, because there's been times that other products been in front of mine. It's not been in the shelf properly. It's like been on the very top. And my spacing is empty, but the product's here.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's up on that top storage shelf, but not where the customer can get it.
See it. Now, like, this is not good. But I mean, these are the things that you have to deal with, and it's like, well, I'm on the shelf. I'm in a credible retail, the largest one, which is a selling point, which opened the door for Winn-Dixie in other locations, because
because it gives you the credibility. Then they go, okay, not only is he selling with Walmart, but he's been selling with them for a while.
Right.
So he's got to be legit, or they wouldn't be keeping him around, right?
Exactly. And a lot of the questions they used to ask me, they don't ask. Like insurance, UPC, do you have a UPC code and all this other stuff that, like, of course you got to have these things, and shelf life testing and safe consumption testing and all of these things. So that
Mhm.
just stopped that and nicked that in the butt. So
That's
now
awesome.
it's
So
all
you're
about pricing.
so you're in Florida Walmart stores and Walmart, but Walmart sells it online everywhere, right?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
actually, recently because I just do it online because um, the water is really heavy.
Mm.
So it's I said I just pulled it from online because it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it is. It
You know,
costs a lot to ship it.
it
So
costs a lot to
so
ship.
it's in the stores in Florida,
Exactly.
but it's not in Walmart online.
No, they just have to go to my website. And
Okay.
then a lot of times when they email me, I can even mix the case. So I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And like I couldn't control my data. So for those that did order, I didn't have the email contact. I couldn't contact them again.
Yeah.
So
That's a really important point for anybody listening. And not just if you have a physical product like Sherman does, but anything, even Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, you do not own the data. If you're
right,
selling something through Facebook or even your followers and your connections, you don't have that. You don't have all your information. And if Facebook goes away, you have nothing. And
right.
so, I've been preaching for years, probably at least 10 years, that you have to be building your email list. You have to have all these other things. There's so many small businesses that basically use Facebook as their
Mhm.
website. And
Yeah.
then like a few years ago, it was probably like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe a little longer, when Facebook first switched their algorithms up, because first they were trying to get people to have business pages.
Hmm.
Then once they got a critical mass of them, they're like, okay, we got them, so we can like back
Yeah.
off. Then they were trying to push ads. And I knew some people that they own an online fitness business. Everything they did was through Facebook. They didn't think they needed anything else. And overnight, their income dropped like 95%.
Wow.
Because, think of it, those those outlets, whether it's online or brick and mortar or whatever, if it burns down, if a brick and mortar burns down, nobody can go in and get it. If
Right.
if if Facebook or Amazon or any of them change their policies, your customers can't go get it. But on top of that, you have no way to reach them. You don't know who they are, and unless they ever reach out to you. So it is critical. People freaked out the other week when Facebook and Instagram went down.
Hmm.
Like, well, hello, their own Instagram's owned by Facebook, and
Yeah.
you know, obviously it's not good that it went down, but I was kind of glad because it was a good lesson for people to learn. Finally, I had clients that were like, "Oh, now I get why you've been,
Hmm.
harping on it for all these years," because they just think it's always going to be there.
Right. And it's not. And it's good to control and get support. Like now I'm in a
Mhm.
contest and I'm reaching out to all those people. I just sent all of them a newsletter
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
hey, I need your vote for this
Tell them about the
contest.
contest because I voted every day. My husband and I, but yeah, tell them about the contest because I want you to win.
Oh no, I appreciate it. So the contest is through hold on, let me get the right information so I can have it right.
Yeah.
So what we have now is because now I just found out they provide the stats every day and it's through
Mhm.
Street Shares Foundation.
Yeah.
So in that um we have to go to streetsharesfoundation.org/vote.
Can you paste it into the comment thing over on the right side of your screen, of the screen we're talking in? If you can't, I can grab it.
I'm gonna try.
Copy and paste it in that. So the stats, I wondered if you could see the stats so you can see where you're ranking.
Yeah, I was fourth yesterday, and now I am officially second. I'm second
Oh,
now.
oh my
But
God,
that's
that's
just
awesome. But we can't stop voting, y'all.
no, we can't stop. We
When
can't
is the
stop.
last day? When's the last day? The 20th?
25th.
Oh,
The
we
25th.
got 6 more
Monday.
days.
Monday at on midnight. So that's the link there. I should be able to take you to it. But I just
I don't
realized,
see it, Sherman. I don't see it. Did you post it in there?
yeah,
Paste
I
it?
did. Oh, I did in private chat. Excuse me. Let me put it.
Oh yeah, put it in the chat column over on the right.
Okay, how do I do that? Comments?
Yeah, yeah, in the post a comment. Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Well,
I
here,
can help.
I'll see if I can find it. I have to remember where I have to link it. Okay, you keep talking and I will try to find it. I'm going to go to
Okay.
another tab.
So the key is for Street Shares Foundation, and mind you, I've been entering this thing for years, and I'm like, wow, I finally made it to one of the 17 finalists. But even then, like I had a guy say, hey, you know, none of them are really solving anything. You know, he said, you definitely should be there. But at the end of the day, it's all about votes. And even now, I'm figuring out that I believe you only can vote one time.
Once a day. You can vote once a day.
You sure?
Yes, I'm positive because I've
Okay.
been voting every day.
Okay, so once a day.
Once a
And
day.
I moved up from, right now I am 19 votes away from the top guy. So they beat me by 19 points. So it's pretty close.
Okay, so
Right now.
where's the person behind you? How far down are they?
They're about 29 votes behind me.
Okay.
No, but
Look,
everyone
y'all,
jumped.
you're
Everyone
probably
jumped.
going, why is Lisa asking him all this crap? Because we don't need to know it later. I will tell you why I'm asking him all this crap. It's because I want y'all to understand how important your network is. The reason Sherman, I just put the link in there. The reason Sherman it has jumped up to number 2. Now we still got whatever 6 days to go, but the reason he's been able to do that is because he has a network and he is working it. If he just relied on Walmart and the other retailers, you would have never been in the contest.
Right.
And you definitely wouldn't have gotten your way up. But I can tell you, Sherman emails me. He reminds me, go vote, go vote. And then like Donnell and I were talking today, we were chatting and he's like, yeah, so Sherman has a team around him of friends who really care about his success and we believe in his product. Y'all need to take that lesson and apply it to your own businesses in whatever way. You need to understand that it's not just you against the world, that you can build a network of customers and friends and supporters who really care about your success and your future.
No, definitely. Definitely.
Oh, I see it. I was like, why did it put me in there twice? I see it's got my YouTube and Facebook.
No, but the thing is, if you think you're in this by yourself, then you're mistaken. And the reason I got in this is not for me, it's self-gain. It's about actually having something with some integrity. Because you think about it, all the people that serve, they have products, ideas. Where are they?
Yeah.
And it's just sad, like things we talk about with NASCAR and other things of that nature. It's like we get put on the back burner. It's like we're people too, and we work for at least to be given an opportunity. Yeah. And we have a track record. It's not like, oh, wait, I got this, I just made it. No, we've been working this for years.
Yeah. And you're still working it. You didn't say, oh, I'm in Walmart, I've got it made. You are working it. You're hoofing it.
No, and when people say, oh, I have bootstraps, those are people who have rich uncles. No bootstraps. You
didn't have any straps, did you?
Exactly. Nothing. You can say I'm before Christ when they didn't even have shoes. I'm walking barefoot.
I love it.
I'm BC, so
Sherman, you're so funny. You crack me up. Sherman's BC.
Yeah, Sherman BC. It's the truth. I mean, and it's harder for everybody, and unfortunately, it's different battles. We can all do the exact same thing and have a different result, and that's what I tell people.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the really important parts of your success has been being a part of various groups and networks like Veterans Grow America.
Yes. Definitely.
Because and if you want to mention any others because I'm not sure of which of them you're in, but when you align yourself with a group of other professionals and people who care about your success, then it's like you're not standing there by yourself. You have other people who are helping and pushing you. And too many of us just try to do it on our own. And of course, we're entrepreneurs. We're like, I can do it. And I tend to be a loner anyway. I like people, but I tend to be a loner. I'm one of these people, I can do it, and I don't like to ask for help. That's not a good way to be. Y'all need to get in groups, get in networks, have a coach, have a mastermind, constantly be putting yourself around people that are at a higher level than you so they can push you.
Right. I would say have someone that cares and try not to have too much pride, because why are you doing this to begin with? When you're like, oh, if you're doing it for you, you're going to have a very rough time. I'm not saying you're not going to make it, but the thing is, you got to have a giving and unselfish kind of attitude, because my whole positioning, I want to lift people up. I want to have a coalition that we actually get it and we can actually build. And for those that in our coalition circle, hey, we're going to help get that person up. And then once we get that person up, hey, we're going to get this person up next. And then we just take turns, and then we're all growing together. But it's not just one. So for me, once I'm able to get this to where it needs to be, hey, Lisa, what's going on? Let's get this. And he's like, okay, I'm good now. So who do we need to try to help next?
Yeah, who do you know that needs help? That's right.
Yeah. And we just
once
keep going
Sherman
on.
is in stores or whatever, he can make introductions.
Yes.
And that leads to another good point that people need to remember, that it's not all about you. Once you are successful, don't sit back and just go, yeah, I did it. Look at the other people around you and find people that you believe in and that you want to give a hand up to help them, so that they can build on the success that you've had. Open some doors for them, in other words.
Oh, yeah. And I give my number out, and I said, any questions you have, any doubts, call me, text me, and if I don't get to you right away, I will definitely return it. But I say I'm here to help.
I love that.
It's just, you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
When people get to certain places, they forget. They're like, oh, I'm doing this and that. Okay, but what are you doing to help anybody else?
Yeah.
And that's just been me, and you're the same way. It's like, we're not there yet because we're so giving.
I know.
We're so giving. They say, oh, that's why what's the point of really living, enjoying life, and it's just self-centered.
Yeah, it's just part of who I am, and I'm not acting like I'm a saint, because I'm not. You can ask my husband, and he will tell you I'm not a saint. But it's no fun to me if I'm not able to do things to help other people, So, but I don't think we've announced the NASCAR thing for Martinsville yet. So I don't know if I should say it on here, because I don't think it's been officially announced. Do you know, for Martinsville?
I'm not sure yet. So,
well, I'm just going to say it. Veterans Grow America is going to be on the hood.
Oh, that's awesome. They've really grown, and I told them I'm committed to being a part of their show in December, because they're going to be in Tampa. And then from next year, I'm going to try to attend all of the other events, and I'll have all the flavors and being a lot more retailers by then, because it's all about networking and finding the right people that believe in you.
I'm not sure about this, but I think Veterans Grow America might be putting together a pop-up shop up here where we live, where Colin, the NASCAR driver, and I live, at Springfield Distillery, because Springfield is launching a new label that weekend that's partnered with us, with Colin's 1111 Veterans Project. Springfield Distillery is launching a new product, and I believe that she's talking with Donnell about doing a pop-up shop out there where people will be out there, tasting the new label and all that. And so we're like, hey, it's Veterans Day weekend. So not sure about that, but you might want to check with Donnell and see, because that would be fun if you don't already have commitments for that weekend.
No, I'll definitely. Because he had a calendar, but I'll definitely circle the wagons and find out what he has in store.
All right, Sherman, I want you to, what do you think is your biggest mistake that you made? And what do you think, if you had one piece of advice that you would give to people who are still struggling, or they're just starting out or whatever, what would that be?
I think my biggest mistake, but it was hard to really find a a co-packer, which is a manufacturer, to make a small amount of product, just having enough to sample because
Mhm.
they want so much. So that was my thing. They wanted so much out the gate and they only had a minimum amount. And the minimum amount was almost a truckload, which is like 24 pallets.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot, based off everything that I needed. And they have some other places, but they won't even do, smaller amount. So
Mhm.
I would say finding someone that can actually be affordable for samples if you have a product.
Mhm.
If you have a service, it's all about location and the
Mhm.
networking that you actually have set up around you to be successful.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw in there, just because people know the words to say, the technical words or whatever, doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. So y'all need to look for somebody who can communicate with you, regardless of what it is that you're talking with them about providing. They need to be able to communicate with you in a way that you understand what they're delivering, and so forth, because a lot of people will just throw out buzzwords because it makes it sound mysterious and important and they can charge more. um,
Right.
and then the people that they're talking to are embarrassed to say, what do you mean, because they don't want to look stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But demand that. Anybody who really knows their stuff should be able to explain in layman's terms what it is that they're going to provide to you and why they're going to provide it. And that will help you cut through the noise and maybe help find a better provider for whatever it is you're looking for.
Right. And one other thing I wish I had, I mean, I built it over time, but it's
Mhm.
still not there yet. That right marketing person that has the skill set to make videos and understand what you're trying to capture
Mhm.
and control your social media
Yeah.
and having a message that's the same but different on all of those different platforms.
Yeah.
And that was key. And it's still hard to find because everyone that's out there isn't the right fit.
I
And
know. And
unfortunately,
everybody thinks that they're a social
yeah,
media expert. But here's
yeah,
the other thing, Sherman. It also has to be within an overall strategy.
yeah,
So many people who they might be good at social media itself, but they don't understand big picture strategy. And
right,
anything they're doing needs to be getting you closer to another goal. But, you know, social media people are a lot like photographers. Well, you know what? I have a camera on my phone, but I'm not a photographer.
right.
There are a lot of people that think, oh, just because I know how to do this, it means I am whatever. I'm this
Mm-hmm.
professionally, but it does. It makes it harder. It makes it harder for you to find somebody
It,
that.
it it does, and especially that's willing to work with you and grow
Mhm.
with you, meaning they're
Yeah.
there for the long haul, not just trying to get a check because no one's getting paid, especially in the beginning, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll say the hard lessons that I think we all should remind ourselves is, why am I doing it? Because I have to ask myself, why am I really doing this? Why am I putting myself through all of this? And at the end of the day is to actually make a difference and provide something healthier so people can actually live a healthier lifestyle with a beverage that hydrates them um, to what they want, not just, oh, what's water? So the
Yeah.
water you held out earlier, for example, you can use that same water and water your plants, and you will kill your plants with that same water that's
Yes.
filtered. But
Mhm.
yet, we're putting it in our body. But the unfiltered water you have to use for grass and everything else. So that's the same example of, okay, good and bad. You're filtering
Okay.
out good stuff, bad stuff. What's good for you? So aren't didn't we come from the ground and naturally? So why can't we drink the other stuff because it's been contaminated? So there's
Yeah.
a happy medium to a lot of things. So for me, it's like I want to be the one breakout company that just surpasses it, that is from a veteran background, that puts the world on notice that, hey, we have a place too. And that's why I'm really doing it, to be the actual trend center, to open it up for everyone. That's
I
my
love
reason of doing
that.
it.
I
That's
love
why
that,
I'm doing it.
Sherman. And I want to say to y'all, Sherman is in my book, my latest book, Disrupt Your Now. Sherman is one of the 50 entrepreneurs who are featured in there. And we talk about taking a problem, taking your problem and figuring out a solution and making that, you know, developing a company around that. So I want to thank you for being in the book, Sherman. But if y'all want to hear more about more about Sherman's story, and also learn from 49 other entrepreneurs and me, so 50 more, go to disruptyournow.com and pick up my book. And it's a fun book. Sherman, I call it the bathroom book for business because it's all short stories. So you can pick it up anywhere and start reading, you know. So if you're in the bathroom, you can, one of my friends is like, yeah, I have one in the car and I have one in the bathroom.
No, that's awesome. And I mean, I definitely appreciate everything. Like they say, you can find associates come a dime a dozen, but really trying to find that friend that believes in you and sees who you are, you know. And I think that's happened with you, Lisa. I want to thank you. And Donnell, the list goes on, but that's through the same cause of really wanting to disrupt everything of how we are in society now, because we've created opportunities for everybody else, and it seems like we're being left out.
Yeah.
And I want to change that.
Yeah. So we're creating them for ourselves. And Sherman, like I said at the very beginning, I feel really blessed that I've met you over the past couple of years. We've gotten to be such great friends. And I'm excited about your future, and I can't wait to see what everything holds. And I can't wait for you to win that contest.
Yeah, so that actually put me in the top 3 to have me compete in Houston, Texas on stage. So, and once I get there, I'll bring the magic and do everything else.
Burn it out. Okay, so tell everybody, drinkbodyaqua.com is the company. How can they find you on social media if they want to connect with you personally? Because, hey, maybe there's somebody out there that is a buyer for a retailer, or maybe they have their own company and they want to carry your products.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything's there. They can email me through drinkbodyaqua.com. But my email is sherman@drinkbodyaqua.com. And I'm here. I'm an open book. I'm here to offer advice, anything I can do to help them to be successful.
Awesome. And Sherman is also on LinkedIn. Under Sherman Williams. Your name is something else in Instagram. Okay, thanks, Sherman. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I had a great time talking with you.
Always. Thank you, Lisa.
Okay, see
Have
you.
a good day.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.